This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to overall do this for any content creators out there dealing with some hate, dealing with some drama. Main motivation behind this podcast episode is just seeing how dumb it is that Mr. Beast, out of all people when it comes to content creating, Mr. Beast, literally the nicest content creator of all time. Like, if there was anybody that could be considered Mr. Perfect of content creating, it's Mr. Beast. Like, the man puts up these good quality videos. He kills it in every video, and he's always giving back. I'm trying to figure out, like, why is this man getting hate for helping out people? It's like, just because he does it on video. My thing is this. That was one thing that I never understood when they were like, don't give back to people, and post it on social media and stuff. Because here's the thing. If you do it that way, where you give back to people, and then people are all like, oh, you don't never do nothing for nobody, and it's like, fam, I be doing things for people all the time. It's not like I'm gonna go down and try to track down a homeless person. I buy freaking, what did I buy him? I think it was like popcorn and orange juice. Odd combo, but the man's hungry. He wants something to eat. He wants something to drink. I'm not gonna try to go track this man down in Seattle just so I can bring him in for a podcast episode. I don't remember what the guy looks like, but people will talk like that. So if you don't record that stuff, then it's like people are gonna be saying, oh, you didn't do it. Because like, let's say if Mr. Beast, he was posting videos of himself talking on how he's done things for people. Like, let's say he's all like, oh yeah, he didn't show it, but he traveled all the way down to, I think there was like, Africa, and he gave like 20,000 shoes to kids or something. I don't know the exact number, but he gave out a lot of shoes to a lot of kids. And let's say if it was just him telling us that he did that, would we believe him? Like, would we honestly believe him without him showing us any proof? Would people believe him? I don't even think Mr. Beast would even be who he was. Like, if he was all like, and I'm trying to think, maybe he could pull it off where he was donating like a gang of money to streamers and stuff. But other than that, it's like, if you don't post about that stuff or if you don't show it, then people ain't gonna believe you. So I encourage people to do it. I want people to start doing more stuff like that, motivate people and things. That's how I see it. But anyways, but no, overall though, I feel like that is a question that a lot of us would like to know an answer to, is how could we be better than our haters? So here's the thing. I don't think people should seek it out to be better than haters, but overall, just know that that's not a question that you should have to ask, how to be better than whoever your hater is and things. That is your hater. By default, you're already better than them, all right? And I'm not trying to say that in a disrespectful way. I'm trying to say that in the most educational way that I possibly can say it. But when you sit down and think about it, just look at the bare minimum of the situation, the titles that you guys own. You're a content creator and they're hating on you for the content that you're creating. How could they be better than you? The funny thing is that it doesn't matter how many viewers they get. It doesn't matter how many subscribers that they get. It doesn't matter how quote unquote better you think or they think they are than you. None of that stuff matters. If they're sitting down and they're taking the time, it don't matter how they want to put it. But because the thing is this, I want to, of course, talk on, my hate, the hate that I've dealt with. But I want to talk on on all aspects of the hate that I've dealt with. Not like the last bit of hate, but just how it's in a way similar. All the hate that I've dealt with, it's similar because at the end of the day, when you sit down and think about it, the main thing that they wanted to do was talk on me. let's talk on TMossBoss. Let's make a video on TMossBoss. Let's, try to bury his name as much as we can. And when you sit down and look at the stuff that they've done on the internet versus the stuff that I've done on the internet, I've done a lot more. So that's why with me, it's like I more so had let my worth ethic, I more so let my drive, I more so let how motivated and dedicated I am to the arts and crafts of content creating. I let that speak for me, because and the thing is, like, I'll admit I did get carried away. I did, I wouldn't necessarily say acknowledged, but I more so defended myself when I didn't even really need to defend myself. That was the crazy thing about it. It's like I sit down and I think of it, and I'm like, if something like that in the mindset that I'm in right now, if any form of hate was to, start up again, towards me, I'm not gonna, what is there to defend? I'm like, because at the end of the day, I know that I ain't doing anything wrong. All right. As much as a hater wants to say, oh, you did this. It was funny because I remember it was not too long ago where a hater, he reached out to me on Twitter and he was just trolling. But then he tried to go and bring up like some old stuff, all like, oh, well, you did this and you did this. And I'm like, fam, both of that stuff has been proven to be fake. So now what? What else do you have to say now? I'm like, no, I'm curious. Like, why? If, like, the thing is this, now that stuff's been proven to be fake, what other reasons do you have to hate on me? No response. None whatsoever. Now, I know that that's not going to be the end of it. There's still going to be people that wants to carry that hate and they want to carry that negativity and all that stuff. But when you sit down and look at the amount of work that I'm doing versus the amount of work that they're not doing nothing. That's what a lot of people have to understand, is that there will be if anybody, all right, as much as they want to like try to paint all these different pictures over the main picture of what's really going on, them hating on you, but whether they want to call it criticism, whether they want to call it, whatever they want to call it, it's still hating. All right, it is 100% going to be hating, because when you look at somebody that's genuinely trying to be cool with you, help you out, whatever the situation is, you'll know the difference between somebody that you become friends with and somebody that you have issues with. I think that it doesn't take no rocket science or no genius to realize that. But the friends that I've made through content creating, whether it's people that just overall became fans of through my content, or I became a fan of their content, or what else, Twitch streaming, TikTok, you'll see that difference from when you have somebody making a video and then all of a sudden all your latest videos is getting hate and dislikes. You'll see the difference between when you become cool with somebody and then you start up a stream and you got a bunch of people just spamming hateful stuff or arguing with you or just saying some old dumb, negative stuff in your streams. You'll see the difference between, somebody being cool with you on TikTok and then somebody that's just, being, just downright disrespectful in your comment sections. You'll see the difference between that. It does not take, and the thing is this, you'll know it in your heart. You'll know it in your heart that, okay, this person, they have an issue. They got some stuff going on. The best way to handle it, and it's something that I wish I would have known back then, but it's like, ignore them. That is the funniest thing to do to a hater, is to show what they say doesn't matter. It doesn't. So the funny thing is that when this is something that's, goes all the way back to when I very first started beefing with people on YouTube. And it was, because of the whole reaction video stuff. But I remember this guy, he left this like it was pretty much an essay. It was like a comment, but it was an essay. And I'm like, fam, the comment sections it's a comment. You don't write out no whole book in a person's comment sections. That's what tripped me out about when people, when they will want to say some hateful stuff about me and things, they want to leave multiple paragraphs, full sentences, freaking, this long essay of a comment. And I'm like, bruh, when you leave, I don't think you guys understand when a person, it's when they're leaving a comment, they talk on something briefly. It doesn't require, I mean, I'm not saying like you gotta live by that, but I'm just saying like that's what the comment sections are. So like, yeah, you can disagree or agree with whatever I say, but do you really think somebody is going to sit down, unless if it's on some positive stuff, then okay. But if it's not, fam, I'm not gonna read all of that. All right, and you can just tell and know when a person has something hateful to say. But so anyways, it was, yeah, when I had started doing reaction videos, the YouTuber Tyrone Magnus and this other YouTuber named Grade A Under A, they got into it. And so I added my 2 cents into the situation, and then somebody had left like this, multiple paragraph comment in my comment sections. So I was like, I'm not reading all of that, and I deleted it because I'm like, I don't even want other people to read all of that. That is just too much to read. That is way too much, bro. Like if that was like on Microsoft Word, you're definitely using like 2.5 pages and stuff. I'm not reading all of that. That is way too much. So I deleted it, and I know that has to be just so upsetting to a hater where you leave this long, well thought out comment and you spent so much time trying to find the answers. And that's how I knew that it was a long comment, because after I deleted the comment, the guy seen that I had deleted his comment, because I was like, nobody's not going to read that. So anyways, he makes I think it was a live stream, but it was like a 40-minute stream, and all he wanted to talk on was what he had said in that comment. But he was so upset, and it was like, fam, to know that I had brought that level, and that's honestly the best way of handling haters, is by just shutting them down. Like, obviously, you can't shut them down on their own platform. So, of course, they can say whatever and do whatever, because you know how YouTube is. Like, YouTube, they'll take your videos down for some dumb stuff, but you let somebody literally spew out hate and racism and negativity and all that stuff towards you. Oh, no, we ain't gonna touch that. We ain't gonna... That doesn't go against our guidelines, but let me react to a parkour fails video. That's why I'm like, no, YouTube, you guys are shady. And I'm like, it makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes at the YouTube headquarters. But no, I remember when I did, somebody had sent me the video. Either somebody sent me the video or I had just came across it. But regardless, the guy, he goes and he starts the video off. He was like, I wrote out this comment underneath TMossBoss's videos, and he deleted it. And it's one thing when you do this, but when you delete my comment, and he was so passionate about him being upset, and I'm like, homie, why are you so mad? Like, this is how mad you get over some internet stuff? I was like, bruh. And I never looked back since. I was like, no, this is funny. This is hilarious. And ever since then, like, that's one thing. That was from a separate beef. And then when of course, like with the longer beef that had happened and stuff, I think everybody knows what that beef is all about. But when that beef had started going down, and I just did the same thing. Every time when they would leave like hate comments, I'll just delete it, and it would get them so upset. They would try to come out with everything possible. They still try to say it till this day, but I'm like, and that's something where it's like I've debunked it, where it's like they say that, oh, if you delete a hate comment, you're showing that you care about the hate comment. Now let's talk on that real quick. If you delete something, right, how does that show that you care about it? I think they need to define, like, and that's a lot of the times they're not doing that. They're not defining what they say. They're not showing, any definitions or proof on how you care for something if you're deleting it. And I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. If you throw away some trash, right? You care about that trash. I care for that trash no longer being in my peripheral vision. I care for that. But if you throw away trash, how do you care about that trash? I don't care even where the trash is going. I throw the trash away because I no longer want that trash in my possession. I want that trash to be gone. So, switching it up. If I donate a pair of sneakers, right? I no longer care about those sneakers. I am donating them. Somebody else can care about those sneakers, but I myself no longer care about them. I am donating them. Let's think of some other stuff. Some food. I don't like the food. I throw the food away. How do you care about that food? That's when when I delete a hate comment, I'm looking at it as the trash that I no longer want in my house. I'm looking at it as the sneakers that I no longer want in my house. I'm looking at the food that I no longer want to eat. That's how I look at a hate comment. But oh my God, like, bro, haters, they are some of the most manipulating people that you will ever come across on social media. So that's why I'm like, with hate, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta ignore them, because all they're gonna try to do is manipulate you, try to, say and do everything possible to make it seem like that you're in the wrong when you're not. And it's like, fam, I'm just trying to be over here and just mind my own business. I still, to this day, I guarantee and I promise you, a hater is listening to this podcast episode right now, because most likely hater is going to be in the title of this podcast episode. They cannot stay away from me. No, I know that they can, because there's the one guy, he has a whole Twitter account dedicated to me. He literally, I'm telling you, there are some weird haters out there, bruh. They are weird. But the best way of getting at them is by ignoring them. If you, like, you throw like one haymaker comment if you want to, but that's it. Like, say one thing, let it go. But yeah, even if you just don't even so much as respond to them, and that's honestly the best way of doing it. But even if you just do so much as not responding to them, and then they leave a hate comment and you delete it, bruh, you're shutting them down. That is the best thing to possibly do. They can't do nothing after that. Like, they just had the one comment that they worked so hard for, they left it and you got rid of it. It's funny. Look, I guarantee 10 out of 10 recommend. All right. So, but anyways, yeah, and that being said, though, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Yeah, so like when dealing with hate, ignore them. It's like that's honestly the best way of dealing with them, because they can't do anything after that. So, but anyways, yeah, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 46 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock $20 off your first purchase. And also, if you're purchasing any energy drinks or sleep drinks from Poggers, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock 10% off your next purchase. And if you're purchasing any controller skin covers or analog grip covers from Fatal Grips, you can use my promo code TMossBoss, and that will also knock 10% off your next purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.